Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we are going to finish the review for Final Fantasy 16. So I just completed the game. It is 10:50 p.m. I've been playing all day today. I played all day yesterday. I played Thursday and freaking Friday. Just finished the game. Oh my freaking goodness. So, I'd like to thank Square Enix for providing the review code for this. It's really awesome of them. Uh, I don't know what to say, man. This game was freaking incredible. Incredible. The whole the whole story of this game was so easy to follow, and it just, man, this was such a feel good, such a feel good game. Such a feel good game. So let me break some things down for you just so that you understand why I'm loving this game so much. High quality cutscenes. First, I'd like to thank my 1440p monitor for always being awesome and never letting me down on any of these next gen games. It's freaking awesome, man. I do recommend one. It really does make it so you can enjoy your games without having to worry too much about the visuals, and it's a pretty consistent experience. So, I wanna talk about the combat, man. So, like throughout this whole game, I knew that was gonna be something that was gonna be very special with this. Now there is like some of the stuff in here, like the like finding materials and stuff like that. They don't really matter too much. I mean, I did play around with it a little bit, trying to upgrade my weapons and stuff like that, but it just never felt fleshed out enough to where it was to where it really mattered. To be completely honest with you. But now, like when you get all of the different powers, so you'll be able to get. I think it was, gosh, what was it? One, two, three, there's a lot of them. There's like 8 of them or something. You'll be able to get all of these different powers, and then you'll be able to. You can only have 3 at a time. So if you pick, like, say you got wind, ice, and Phoenix power, you can only have 3 slotted at one time, and then you can select 2 of the subclasses to go ahead and you're gonna need, by the time you get to the end of this game, you are going to have things mapped out. I bet there's a better way. Like, I mean, I just kind of was like just getting through the game, going through the motions, paying a lot more attention to the story, trying to do it all, like really trying to sink my teeth into this game and really play it. There for me, I found a pretty good selection of stuff that just kind of worked. I was able to map these things together, because some of these boss fights in this game, it's gonna get so freaking hectic, and it's gonna, like, it's sweaty. It starts to get pretty sweaty toward the end of this game. Like, you're sitting there and you're moving and your fingers are going 100 miles an hour. I am so freaking grateful that I have a DualSense Edge, so that I could map my dodge button to that back to that to the back paddle. Oh my gosh, that thing was such a freaking lifesaver, man, because your fingers are like man, I haven't felt my fingers go that fast in a very long time, and it feels so cool to like pull off, like some of these dodges and stuff like that. Like, I messed up a lot. I died a lot. I died a freaking lot during this game, and wow. Wow, I just kept doing it and just kept pushing and kept pushing and kept pushing. And that right there made me feel like, see, here's the thing, man. I've been getting to a point where I'm getting a little bit tired of the sweaty games, like the Dark Souls and stuff like that. I'm just haven't been to a point where I'm like, ugh. But this right here, it does feel sweaty, but it also feels kind of fair. Like, if you die, you come back, the boss is still, got like some of their life taken off, stuff like that. It refills all your health and stuff like that, so you can get in there and like really, really keep fighting and stuff. And that's cool. Like, I really appreciated that, because I would have freaking, I probably would have easy moded this game a long time ago had had that not been the case. But seeing as how that was there, I was like, all right, we're just going to tough it out. We're going to do it. It took a long time to get through this game, man. I almost 40 hours, I bet. Easy, almost 40 hours. And that was pretty much ignoring as much of the side quests as I possibly could. And that was just going through the game, dealing with the combat, having a good time, paying attention to the story, not skipping anything. Now there's a lot of cutscenes. There is a lot of cutscenes, but I would say I mean, there's definitely a lot more gameplay, and so here's the thing: like when you get to these cutscenes, they're so well crafted and so well done that I'm just like, wow, that was cool. Never once in this story did I feel like did I feel like it let me down at all. This story started off good, started off hitting pretty hard, and then it moved through the middle of the game. And I was like, okay. And then once you get to that turning point where like the first part of the game is like, I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm going to tell you right now, like the first part of the game is like this, like you're on this quest. You're just like, whatever, I need to get this done. And you're just like, and you're just like to a point where you're like, that is your main freaking goal. And that's the only thing you're trying to do. And then something happens and you find something out, and then it kind of turns that on its head, and then you're like, whoa, man. And then you keep going. And the way they were able to twist this story, to turn it and to move it in another direction was freaking good. Like I was engaged, immersed the whole freaking time during this game. It was great. Now, I will tell you, if you're somebody that's sensitive to the thing, yeah, you might need a can of Bud Light for this one. In the middle of the game or whatever. Right when I saw it, I knew immediately I was like, yep, definitely a PlayStation exclusive. It's been in all the games since, so I'm not even gonna really. I'm not gonna really like. I wish they would leave it out of it, but then again, yeah. By the time you're done with this game, it shouldn't matter because. Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't too bad. So I don't want to drag it on about that because I love this game so freaking much that it is what it is. It is what it is. By the time I started getting to the end of the game, so with JRPGs, you're going to get to the end of the game and it's going to start throwing the overzealous freaking sweaty combat at you, and this one's no different. It does, and I feel like this one here was broken up enough to where it was like, okay, you can take a breather. Okay, you can take a breather. And that's cool because like with Scarlet Nexus, it was just like, man, and Tales of Arise, I think this one here nailed it a little bit better. It made it just a little bit better. It was sweaty, but it wasn't as bad. Like you get like those times for reprieve and you can just, kind of like get through this, enjoy some more story content, take a breather and stuff. And that's why I'm glad that there's a lot of story content in this game, because it kind of breaks things up. Because you'll be sitting there and you'll be going along and you'll be doing things, but then gosh, the story content and the cutscenes really just break up all the nonsense that you could be doing, because there are definitely some side quests tacked onto this game. There's nonsense like I was talking about earlier with like a crafting system, stuff like that. Like there is, but it's gamey stuff, man. Like there's enough meat and potatoes of the combat and story content that I think they could have possibly left all of this out. Never once during this gameplay did I feel bored. Period. Never once. This game here blows freaking games like God of the War completely out of the water. Literally, like, I played this all the way through and I'm like, wow, that ending was good. The middle was good. The beginning was good. And everything in between that was rock solid for me. Like, it was so good that I finished playing last night. I went to bed and I sat in my bed thinking about this game for probably until I fell asleep, like I'm going to do tonight. Like, this game was so good. Such a strong impact on, I know that I'm sounding like super over, like I'm over trying to sell you, but this game here, I wish I could just talk about the story, because there's just so much to pack in there that I wish I could talk about that. I wish that I could, but I don't want to spoil that for you because I want you to play this game and enjoy it. I'll talk a little bit about, I want to dive a little bit deeper into the combat mechanics in this game. So you have your attack button, and then you'll have your dodge, all of that stuff. But then you have the powers, like I was telling you a little bit earlier, that you can map, to the different, like you can choose 3 different ones and then you map them. And like, gosh, when you're in the middle of a freaking battle in here and you're dodging around and you're trying to manage all that, like your brain is just ooh, ooh, man, and it just feels good. Like, I mean, I love Dark Souls games. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love them harder games. But this here makes Devil May Cry look pretty weak compared to this one. I never once really I love Devil May Cry. I love playing those, and I play those like a hack and slash type of game. But this one here, this was way more involved. I felt way more involved, and I felt that I was actually to a point most of the time where I was like, wow, this is cool. And another thing, I'm glad they did this. If you pick like a path to like upgrade, you can refund those and turn around and like reuse those to like upgrade a different ability. If you're getting somewhere and you're getting stuck and that ability's not working with you, you can refund that and you can add it to a different one. So you can try out multiple different builds during your first playthrough and be able to string a combo together that works for you, that's easy for you to manage, that's easy for you to wait for the cooldown timers and all of that, so that you can, like, it was getting to the point where I was like, okay, wait a minute, like I've got these different moves, but I want to go ahead and I want to switch something up. And I was, because toward the end of the game, like it was getting so sweaty that I was like, oh my gosh, this is just getting so hard. But then I switched things up a little bit, invested in 3 different powers to go along with 3 of the other powers that I really liked. And so you'll have some powers like the super special that I didn't even, I don't know why I didn't pick one of these throughout the whole game. Like seriously waited till like the last 4 hours of playing this game before I even got those. Maybe, that's because I was so immersed in the story, it didn't even matter. But toward the end, like the combat was just getting to be so thick and so heavy. So I switched those 3 out, and I got the wind power, I got the phoenix power, and I had the lightning power still. I got those 3. I refunded a couple of the other ones that I had been using, funneled all those points right back into the new ones, and then I was able to pull off some incredible combos that literally started melting these guys. I was like, this is freaking great. So I implore you to, like, while you're playing, play around with stuff. Go around in the world. If I wasn't trying to get through this on the weekend so I could review it, I would have spent way more time in this world, way more time just figuring this stuff out. But if you're buying this and you're not reviewing it, enjoy this game. Like, figure out what works for you. Find the best combos that are going to help you melt these guys so that your experience is going to feel more rewarding than what I did. Man, I literally was so immersed in this story that I just kept going and kept going and kept going. And like, seriously, by the time I beat it, I had so many points. I have like 5,000 or 6,000 points kind of just saved up because I keep forgetting to go into the menu and upgrade more stuff. And that's my fault for not doing that, because I was just trying to get through the game and I was just trying to, get my review out. But my gosh, man, this game is deep. It's pretty deep. Now there are, like I was saying, there are some like the side quests and stuff like that. That most of those, like the couple of them that I did do, kind of were just, they kind of just felt like they were like filler content. But by the time I got done with this game and now looking back at that, I'm like, hey man, at least they give you something else to do if you want to do it. You know what I mean? And that's the way I look at it. I rarely ever go out of my way to do a whole bunch of side content, especially in heavy story games. I want to just be able to get the story and, try to cram it in. And sometimes that works out great. Sometimes it doesn't. But I'll tell you what, man, there are so many moments in this game that are worth the playing, that are worth the playthrough to be able to get through this and experience that content. I love this game. I think it's incredible. I give it a solid 10, easy, like no problem. When it comes to like the honeymoon phase for this game, definitely an everlasting love for this one. Like I'm seriously, this is probably by far my favorite Final Fantasy game ever made. I personally love how they went with full action combat. I like that a lot more. I like the way it plays. I like the way it feels. I like that even toward the end where I started playing around with my build a little bit, I was able to, you know, get stronger and make better, like make better use of my combos and stuff. Then that was cool, man. Like that is cool. I love this game. I think it's incredible. Now, I know that I'm just going to talk about this just for a couple seconds because I've already mentioned it in the review and progress video. Performance. I played the whole game through at the 30 frames per second quality mode. It looked incredible on my 1440p monitor, and it was more than enjoyable. The combat felt snappy. It felt pretty dang good. Now, if you do end up picking this up, like you are going to notice that, and it is going to I would recommend, you know, just going through this on the 30 frames per second mode. Get used to it and then play through it. Get used to it and then play through it. Don't switch back and forth. It's not even worth it. Just go with this. The visuals were incredible. The gameplay was great. It was an awesome experience. It was awesome. It was completely awesome. So again, shout out to Square Enix for providing this review code. I really appreciate that. I'm grateful that they were able to provide that so that I could take a look at this game and be able to play this and bring this information to you guys. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Final Fantasy is awesome, man. Check it out. We'll see you guys later.